Yoshi P has spoiled us once again with some more Eorzea-shattering announcements that are keeping me on the edge of my seat for the arrival of Evercold. At the Anaheim Fanfest, there were a lot of things that I was excited about, in particular the evolved combat, character customizations and animations, and the introduction of a new mid-tier raid difficulty between normal and hard. We did get some updates on these as well, which I want to run through, but I will say that this Fanfest there were some new announcements that really stole the show for me. Here's my thoughts on what Yoshi P shared in his Berlin Fanfest keynote. First, let's run through the updates to what I spoke about in my video covering the Anaheim keynote. Firstly, Evolved Mode. I was a bit disappointed we didn't get anything else announced for this time because it was something I was most excited for from the last Fanfest. It did sound like they want to do a sit down and run through each of the jobs, so we know what to expect come Evercold.
These changes to the jobs will take place over the next few months, and I know all of you out there are probably wondering, what about my job? I want to see how my job is going to change. We plan, moving forward, to continue to provide you with the latest information, having lots of different programs that go into detail on the new action modes for every single job. Probably going to be about a 4-hour-long show, but we plan to cover everything.
Next, customizations and animations. Oh my god. The character action skins will start to be introduced from 8.0, first for general actions like teleport, and then job action skins will start being released from 8.1 onwards.
So let's take a look at
Yeah, show us! Show us! Yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that. Yes! Ooh! Go off, Queen! Hell yeah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I originally thought these were just going to be job actions, so I am thrilled that it is not just for combat.
Changing a character's animation will not affect your DPS.
Yoshi P is lying to us. Fashion improves DPS.
Yoshi P said this will be an ongoing thing, and that these action items will be rewards. So I'm interested to see what content will include these action animations as rewards. For character customization, we got some information about customization options that will be introduced from patch 8.1. Essentially, they are adding toggle options for sooty noses for Lalas and Viera, the removal of Mikote Warpaint, and the mix matching of Aura horns with any face type.
Whoa, I hate that. I'm sorry, I hate it.
When they announced the toggle for Mikote Warpaint, we did wonder if they were going to toggle the Aura scales as well.
Oh wait, are they gonna peel him? Will he peel? Okay, this is cute. I love this. Where you can have the different shapes. Mix and match horns and faces. Yeah.
They are also really teasing us about the butt slider.
Where's my freaking butt slider then?
Yeah, you're right. Where? Where? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, get him. Get him. Just wait. A little longer.
Just wait.
Wait for...
No, no. Secret.
It's a secret. Okay. Okay.
A
We won't tell
secret.
anyone. But you're good? It's gonna take time, but we're good. We're good.
Come on, Yoshi P, do it, coward. Third, the raid difficulty. The update about raid difficulty is about what I expected. The intention appears to be for it to act as a mid-tier difficulty for players who are not already comfortable with Savage raiding. The mid-tier will be about equal to or a little easier than extreme difficulty, and should hopefully provide a nice space for players who are interested in doing more difficult content but have time and commitment barriers to learning Savage. For hardcore raiders, it is still a much better option to jump straight into what they already know, and they will not be disadvantaged in any way gear-wise.
Now we're going to be adding a new type of category known as season gear. So by completing raids in this new difficulty, players can now upgrade incomplete forms of raid gear or season gear, gradually improving that gear and bringing it closer to the specs of Savage counterparts. Players who are already comfortable with the current Savage difficulty can skip over the new difficulty tier. You don't have to clear the new difficulty to be able to go to Savage. You can go straight to Savage.
Yoshi P had a slide with completion rates. I wasn't surprised by the Savage completion rate. While I've dipped my toe into Savage raiding previously, it's not content I would say that I am comfortable in by any means. It's just a bit of a time and commitment barrier for me at the moment. Something more casual could bridge that gap for me and also help give me a bit more confidence in harder content. I also spoke previously about some concerns that I had coming out of the last FanFest. In particular, I was really concerned around the language that was used to describe planned quality of life questing updates. There's now been some clarification that this will be an optional feature that will essentially be path guidance or auto run to a quest destination. I can definitely think of times where this might have been helpful, when I've been trying to find a quest point that has been deliberately hidden from me and I spend ages trying to scout it out and getting a bit frustrated sometimes. But even with that, I don't think this is a feature that I will ever use, except maybe on an alt character if I'm trying to speed through the story for some reason. I am definitely in the camp of thinking that the journey of the quest is part of the experience. That being said, I am probably doing the slowest playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV in history. I complete and voice act every single quest in Final Fantasy XIV, including relics, societies, leave quests, we do it all.
Realm Ribbon, Heaven's Ward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, Dawn Trail.
That's a lot of quests.
Yeah.
You're telling me that's a lot of quests. You're telling me.
I think that if this feature will bring in or retain more players for Final Fantasy XIV, then that is an overall net benefit for the game. Let's talk about this show-stealing, absolute bangers of announcements. Chocobo Companion Overhaul. I have to say, this floored me. This was something I never expected to come up.
And that starts with this.
Chocobo? What? Huh? Wait, Overhaul? What? Holy, I did not see this coming.
The companion system has been around for a long time, but isn't overly worked. As it is now, it's fine. I'll often summon my Chocobo to help me when I'm doing solo overworld content to make things go a little faster, or if I just need a little extra healing. But, coming in Evercold, Final Fantasy XIV will be adding a feature to enter dungeons with one friend and each of your Chocobos, which I think is really cool. I remember when I first started playing, my friend Zebby was showing me the ropes, teaching me how to play, and suffering through my terrible combat abilities. It would have been actually so cute to tackle the story dungeons together, just the two of us and our Chocobos. The revamp will include a review of the basic commands. What I'd really like to see is a clear separation between the roles of tank, healer, and DPS for the Chocobos. The only reservation I had with this system was when Yoshi P mentioned Chocobo breeding.
We're going to do a complete overhaul of the current breeding system. As I mentioned before, this system wasn't designed with battle in mind, so improvements are necessary to make it better fit with the new dungeoneering options. And so we will have a plan on overhauling this and the summoning system.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused about the breeding thing. So does this mean they're introducing it for your companion Chocobo?
They specifically said that this system was not built for combat, and it's not. It's for Gold Saucer Chocobo racing. Chocobo breeding has nothing to do with your Chocobo companion. Personally, I would like to keep it that way. I definitely don't want a scenario where I'm having to manage tedious breeding chains to get the holy grail of Chocobo stats. I'm happy to leave that for side content for racing. The updates for the Chocobo content will begin from patch 8.1. Next, the announcement of the theme for the 8-player raid.
Oh my god, in a raid series. That is sick! That's sick!
Final Fantasy VII is a game that I hear many people speak of fondly. Even people I know that don't play a lot of video games know about Cloud and Final Fantasy VII. This is an absolute banger of a collab, and I love, love, love. I think the timing of this really makes sense too, with the next Final Fantasy VII game recently announced. And speaking of Final Fantasy VII, we are getting a new Gold Saucer attraction this year, with the area themed after the Final Fantasy VII Gold Saucer, the OG. The new attraction is a typing game, which I am personally a big fan of.
What is this? Is this a typing game? Keybound Brawler? This game was made for me. I can type 120 words per minute. Let's go. Oh, they don't stand a chance. 28 October, that's a month away. 2 months away. Several months.
And some people aren't that, that good at chatting with the keyboard, so now you can practice.
No, you can practice. That is diabolical. That is diabolical, Yoshi P.
And as for the rewards...
There's the Tifa outfit. There it is. There it is. Oh my god. Oh my god, yes! And the Barrett one. Whatever. Yeah, okay, it's Barrett. Tifa! Tifa! Yeah! Yeah! Hell yeah! That's sick as hell. For the planet.
Yoshi P was also quite cheeky, doing a call out for more collaborations for this game mode, so I wonder what other collaborations we will see in the future.
Yoshi P is like, come and collab with me. What an icon. I love Yoshi P.
Third, new class, Bastion. Yoshi P arrived in some epic cosplay and announced the new tank class, Bastion. And I will just call out here to say that at the Anaheim Fanfest, they spoke about the tank classes specifically having a main tank and a side tank designation. So Bastion will be a main tank. This class looks really badass. I think it will be super fun to play. The playstyle seems to be a melee slash mode, using the sharp swipers at one end of the cannon shield, which then flips to use the cannon end for ranged attacks. The first time we see dual cannon shields is in A Realm Reborn, wielded by Ritterton Saz Alvina. The Ritterton trial used to be a bit of a joke until it received a much needed rework in patch 6.1 into a solo duty. Ritterton wields the gun shield Tartarus, which his attacks are named after. The Tartarian Tomb, Tartarian Shockwave, etc. As you can expect, the attack animations for Ritterton and Bastion are very different. Sorry Ritterton, Bastion did it better and cooler. Next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about the designs for Evercold, both visual and the main scenario mechanic that they introduced. Firstly, I adore the designs revealed for the firmaments so far. I think they are gorgeous. I already have a favourite zone out of the ones that we've seen, Naglfar, the floating firmament themed after water. This is hardly surprising, as at the Anaheim Fanfest I was already enraptured with these snake motifs used in the architecture. I am definitely a sucker for high fantasy design, so I am really looking forward to exploring these areas. I also wanted to point out that this ship design immediately reminded me of Bismarck. Now for the story mechanic. Yoshi P announced that players would be able to choose their path through the main story.
So as I said, these changes and updates are being made with the goal of giving you more agency when choosing how you want to play.
My issue with this type of format is that if there are 3 separate storylines, it can feel like you're progressing separate stories that have to be put on hold while the NPCs wait around for you to go and do something completely different until you get back. I'd love to have stories that are like seeing the same object from different perspectives. The idea that as you see through each lens of different stories, you get a better perspective of the final image. The other issue we come across is the auto content balancing. Players will be completing story areas at different levels, so Yoshi P has said that certain zones and instance dungeons affected by the branching narrative will have an auto balance applied.
We will be implementing a system that adjusts enemy and fate and dungeon difficulty in the area based on each player's individual current level. So basically, we'll be taking that, and on the system side, we'll be adjusting and balancing that battle difficulty in real time.
Yoshi P has said, trust us, job leveling won't be a problem. I will trust you, Yoshi P. Please don't let me down. Those are my highlights from the Berlin Fanfest keynote. There are still a few things that I am waiting to hear more about that will be announced at the Tokyo Fanfest. In particular, I want to know more about the weekly reward system, evolved combat, the world raids. I wonder if this is going to look like world bosses, although we already have achievement fates and hunt marks, so I'm really curious what they have planned here. And of course, the announcement of the second new DPS class that will be available to play in Evercold. I do wonder whether this character has anything to do with it. She has a cool stick wand thing that really caught my attention. So that is all from me today. If you like the sound of my voice, I stream 5 days a week on Twitch and YouTube. We do every quest in Final Fantasy XIV on the weekends, Guild Wars 2, and a variety of other games in between. It would be really cool if you liked this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Final Fantasy projects coming later this year. And until next time, I hope you have a good day, a good evening, or a good night. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye!